Will Mitch Marner stay in Toronto for at least another season? And could either John Klingberg or Matt Murray return? Hey everyone, welcome to Inside the Leafs. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Toronto Sun Maple Leafs writer Terry Koshan. And Terry, the rumor mill continues to run rampant when it comes to Mitch Marner. It seems like everybody has an opinion on whether or not he will be a Toronto Maple Leaf next season. But it does start to feel right now, as we record this early June, that Mitch Marner will at least play out the final season as a Toronto Maple Leaf. He, of course, has that no movement clause. What's your sense on what may or may not happen with Mitch Marner this summer?
Well, that seems to be the way it's going, Rob. But, I think the one thing with the Mitch Marner situation we all have to remember is it can change in a heartbeat. And, like you said, we're here in early June. There's not a lot going on right now. Most of the teams are in Buffalo for the combine this week. So there will be discussions, I'm sure, and casual conversations among general managers and this sort of thing and agents and all that regarding a lot of players, not just Mitch Marner. But, is there going to be more interest or whatever the word might be, speculation around the time of the draft, the end of the month? Probably. But, like you say, the fact of the matter is Marner's under contract for another year, and there's absolutely nothing that needs to be done by either side on July 1 when a new contract can begin to be negotiated. So, he's under contract. He has the no move. We're going on Marner's most recent public word, which was just about a month ago, when the Leafs did exit meetings saying, hey, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be long term, and go from there. So, could it happen? I suppose it could, but that one thing would have to happen for sure. If it does, a lot of pieces have to fall into place. It's got to be agreed to by Marner. Obviously, it's got to be a city that he wants to go to, and Brad Treliving obviously has to get a package that he thinks is valuable, and that he thinks he might not get somewhere down the line. So a lot of moving parts, if you will, Rob. But probably the latest speculation now that has him playing at the season. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Yeah, and I think as well it'd be hard to keep the lid on this if it
Yeah.
starts to get out to teams that Brad Treliving is asking around. So feels like we'll find out one way or another what the future is going to hold for Mitch Marner at some point this summer. Meanwhile, the Maple Leafs have a bunch of UFAs, most notably Tyler Bertuzzi and Max Domi, but there's a couple of forgotten players, Terry, that are at least interesting to talk about. John Klingberg and Matt Murray, and of course these are two guys that at one point in their career were stars in the league, but as Maple Leafs, not so much. Both guys were brought here for that veteran experience, and it didn't work out necessarily. But is there an opportunity that either one or both of these guys could return on a more inexpensive deal, if you will?
Possibly, but I'm the Maple Leafs. I don't go near either of them, and it's not a knock on them personally. Of course, it's the injury history, and the fact of the matter is, Rob, the Leafs right now, as of today, have about $18.5 million to use under the salary cap. You cannot spend it on players who haven't played for the past season, and there's no guarantee that they will be, their health will be 100% through the following season. If it were to happen in either case, it would have to be at the NHL minimum, no more than that, which will be $775,000 for 24-25, and that would be it. Klingberg, of course, barely played. The idea with him was that he would come in and be, that right-handed shot in the power play. We never saw what happened with that for the most part. The regular season, at least power play was fine, just not in the playoffs when we won for 21. But by then, Klingberg was long out of the picture. And with Murray, look, he does have a great pass. He has the cup pedigree, of course, with Pittsburgh. But there are a lot of those veteran types that are going to be available one way or the other, either via free agency or trade, and certainly people who played in the NHL last year and did relatively good things. And Matt Murray was not able to do that. So, the stories are both good, Rob, in the sense that they were, more in Murray's case, recovered by the end of the year and was back on the ice. But, if I'm the Maple Leafs, I don't think you touch either of these guys with a 10-foot hockey stick. You just move on. And like I said, part of it's financial, right? You can't be spending them any more money than the minimum on either of them, and you don't have a ton to spend anyway. And that dollar figure that I announced, or that I mentioned, 18.5. I mean, the Leafs have a lot of holes to fill on the blue line before they get anywhere near that. They do have a goaltending hole, obviously, with Joseph Woll just coming back at a really great team friendly contract at under $800,000. But again, with Woll, You don't know what his injury situation, how that's going to arise in the season. So you have to get insurance against that. It can't be a guy like Matt Murray who has his own injury history. So do they come back? I'd be surprised if either happens. And like I said, at the extreme chance either does, it's bad management if they're getting anything more than the NHL minimum.
Well, as they say, the best ability is availability, and for both of these guys, that has not been the case the last little bit. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For Terry Koshan, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.